Chapter 20 brings us to the end of derived stem imperfect verbs. Hello, I'm Prof Brian. We're here at TechScroll.com, and this is an overview of Chapter 20 of Reading Biblical Hebrew Introduction to Grammar. Chapter 20 brings us to the A-class imperfect paradigms. That's the Pual and the Hophal. We're going to do both the strong verb and the weak verb in this chapter. Does that sound like a lot? Well, it's not going to be because we know how to simplify it. We're going to handle the strong verb the same way we did things in Chapter 17. We're going to reach back and we're going to grab something that we already know. That's going to be the Kal imperfect of Yilmad back from Chapter 12. Then we're going to reach into Chapter 16 and we're going to get the ID badge out of the infinitive construct for the Pual and the Hophal. And we are going to merge those two patterns together, and presto, we will have made those two conjugations. Okay, what about the weak roots, though? I mean, that's usually a hassle and just a mess. Well, we are going to find that there are changes. In the Pual, we're not always going to have a kibbutz here, but we are always going to have an U-class vowel. And in the Hophal, we're not always going to have kametz katon under the prefix, but we are always going to have an U-class vowel. And that brings us to our basic technique. We're going to ask a question. The question for you is, who has the U? If you see that there's an U-class vowel with the first radical, it's Pual. If you see that there's an U-class vowel with the prefix, well, then it's Hophal. Now, if there's also a root letter missing, you'll have to think through, did I lose a nun? Did I lose a vav or yod somewhere? Did I lose a geminate root letter? But basically, it comes down to knowing that question. The question for you is, who has the U? Does R1 have the U, or does the prefix have the U? That's really all there is to this chapter, although we could use some practice. I want to encourage you to use the alias profiles in your TechScroll study sheets. On page 5, you've got the extended version that helps you to identify both the type of root and the stem. And then on page 8, you've got the condensed version that directs you in a pretty simplified way to identifying what the stem is. And then you need to think through the root based on knowing vocabulary or knowing which type of letter might have been lost. To learn the Pual and Hophal imperfect, we're going to start with the Kal imperfect of Lamad. Lamad is stative in the Kal, and that's why it has an A-class theme vowel throughout the paradigm. What we're going to do is take the ID badge and line it up with the imperfect prefixes, and then we're going to put these two things together. Let's start with the Pual. So here we take all of the endings and stuff from the Kal imperfect of Lamad, and we have stuck them onto the root katal. Then we're going to take the ID badge with the shava, kibbutz, dagesh, and we're going to slide it over onto what we've got in the middle, and presto, we've made the whole paradigm. All right, we don't have to learn any new prefixes or affixes at the end. We don't have to learn any new theme vowel stuff, and we're not learning any new ID badge stuff. We're just putting the two together, and we haven't seen it that way quite before. We'll do the same thing with the Hophal. Take all the stuff from Lamad and stick it over there on katal. And now we've got our ID badge where R1 is closing the syllable. It's pretonic closed short. And the prefix has the kametz chatuf, the short O kametz, because it's pretonic closed short. Right? And so then we just slide that over. And there we've made the Hophal imperfect paradigm. So for the strong verb, it's really simple. We see the ID badge on the front, and everything else is something that we already know from Lamad. Let's take a look at a few more things. What about when we have weak roots? When the Pual and Hophal imperfects want to go in disguise and put on an alias to try and hide from us, they're actually pretty limited in their creativity. The Pual in weak roots is either going to put a cholim after R1 or a full cholim vav after R1, or it might keep the kibbutz and get rid of the dagesh forte if the guttural kicks it out. But really, there's just two main aliases for the Pual. The same thing with the Hophal. We might not have the short O kametz here, but we're either going to have kibbutz for our U-class vowel or shuruk for our U-class vowel after the prefix. We have lots of different kinds of roots that are going to do that. Here we have first nun, here we have a couple of geminates, here's a second vav, here's a first yod slash first vav, another geminate, another second vav. But we got pretty consistent pattern in what they do to try and disguise themselves. They either give us kibbutz for the U-class vowel or they give us shuruk for the U-class vowel. And since we're great detectives, we are going to see right through them. I'll tell you what, why don't we go over to the practice parsing and just work on identifying whether we have Pual or Hophal. So here we have vayugad. What's the question? The question for you is who has the u, and who has the u in this case? It is the prefix. If the prefix has the u class vowel, then it is, right, it's Hophal. Number 2, question for you is who has the u? Who's got the u in this case? It's the prefix, right? Because the mem is the performative for the participle. We've got the article out front, and if the prefix has the u, then it is, yeah, it's Hophal. Question for you is who has the u? Is it the prefix or is it R1? Well, the prefix is the mem, it's got a shava. It's R1 that has the u class vowel, so this is Pual. Next, Yanuga u. So where is the u class vowel? Is it on R1 or is it on the prefix? It's on R1. That means it's a Pual. Next, who has the u? Well, it is the prefix. The tav of the preterite prefix has the u, so this is a Hophal. The question for you is who has the u? It's on R1. It's not on the prefix, so it's Pual. The question for you is who has the u? And this time it's with the prefix, so it's a Hophal. Yeah, it's like it was the first radical itself, but it's not with the first radical. Okay. Who has the u? The prefix or R1? What is the root? We take off the im, we take off the article on the front. The mem is a performative for the participle. We had gala, we lost R3. So that means the u vowel is with the prefix, and so it is a Hophal. You got it. Tvorak, where is the u? Who has the u? R1 has the u, so it's a Pual. Makora'i, right? Suffix on the end, performative mem, but the question for you is who has the u? Well, it's with the first radical, so it is a Pual. Where is the u vowel here? That's with the mem. The mem is the performative, it's the prefix. So this one is it's a Hophal. Question for you is who has the u? And the u is with R1, so this is a Pual. The question for you, okay, you've got it. The u vowel is with the prefix, so this is a Hophal. Where's the u vowel? Yeah, it's back there with the prefix. It's another Hophal. Where's the u vowel? It's on R1. It's another Pual. Where's the u vowel? That's with the prefix, so it's a Hophal. Where's the u vowel? It's with R1, so it's a Pual. Who has the u? The prefix has the u. It's a Hophal. Who has the u? Well, we got to figure out exactly what the root letters are, I guess. So tav at the end, that's for the participle, feminine singular. The mem is the performative. Our root is sagar. So this is R1. Who has the u? R1 has the u. It's a Pual. Who has the u? R1 has the u. So it's a Pual. In fact, I mean, that's the standard ID badge. Shava, kibbutz, dagesh. My goodness, why put something that easy in there? Who has the u? Right, is this R1? No, right? Hey patak dagesh, that's the article. The mem is the performative for the participle. It's the prefix that has the u, so it is a Hophal. Who has the u? It's R1 that has the u. What is this hey doing out here anyway? If it's R1 has the u, that means it's a Pual, right? Sure is. So what's the hey? That's the interrogative hey. Right, and I throw that in there because, you know, when you see words in a text, they're going to have all the extra stuff stuck on there, and we got to be able to separate it out. It's because we've got this vocal shava that the chataf patak got upgraded to a full vowel. It's not the hifil's hey. Pretty deceptive, huh? And how do you know? How do you tell that apart? Because you know that this yod's not a root letter, right? This is the root down here. If it was the hifil's hey, it would have to be joining R1. Okay. Mushkav, who has the u? Well, the performative mem has the u, so it is a Hophal. Tenuchamu, Who has the oo? Well, it's R1 that has the oo, so it's a pual. Who has the oo? R1 has the oo, so it's another pual. Who has the oo? R1, right? You see the cholam, so it's a pual. Who has the oo? The mem has the oo, and that's the performative, it's the prefix, so it's a hophal. Who has the oo? Well, it sure looks like it's with the prefix, and so that would be a hophal. Who has the oo? Well, this is R1 because the mem is the prefix, and so this is a pual. Who has the oo? Well, the prefix has the oo, so this is a hophal. Who has the oo? This one is a little bit tricky. The first letter has the oo, whatever it's doing there, and then you look at ledet. And so what's happening is that we have yalad, and R1 itself has become the oo vowel, but it's not with R1. It is with the prefixed he of the hophal. Okay, now we've got kind of a dilemma. Where's the oo vowel? Well, it's on both the prefix and it's on R1. What do we mean by that? Well, you know, this is a composite shava, so that means that this is a short O, and the vowel in front of it is matching. So we have short O kamates followed by super short O kamates, right? Kamates chatuf followed by chataf kamates. So what gives there? Well, in this case, we were trying to make pre-tonic closed short up here, and because this was a guttural, it didn't happen to take the silent shava, and so it took a composite shava. So we got to this position because we started with an oo vowel on the prefix, and that's going to make this a hophal. Yep. Who has the oo? R1 has the oo. That makes it a pual. Who has the oo? Well, don't get distracted by this cholam down here. That's for a feminine plural participle ending. The mem, the prefix, the performative mem for the participle has the oo, and that makes it a hophal. You betcha. Now, who has the oo? Ooh, they both have the oo vowel again. It's the same thing we saw a little bit back, a little bit farther back. We were trying to make pre-tonic closed short with the hophal's oo vowel here under the prefix. The guttural gave us a composite shava, right? So kametz chatuf here and chataf kametz here. But the next letter down here is a vocal shava. And because it's a vocal shava, it upgraded this composite shava to a full vowel. And these are actually both the short O kamates, so both R1 and the prefix have the oo vowel, but they both have it because of what we started from, and that was the prefix having the oo vowel, and so this is a hophal. The question for you is who has the oo, and the oo is with R1, so this is a pual. The question for you is who has the oo, and it's with R1, so it's another pual. Who has the oo? The prefix mem does for this participle, so it's a hophal. Who has the oo? R1 has the oo, so it's a pual. And the last one, who has the oo? The prefix has the oo. Now, again, R1 became the oo, but it's the prefix that has that vowel, so this is a hophal. So when we really focus on that question of what's going on in the vicinity of R1, and who has the oo, the prefix or R1, it's pretty easy to tell whether it's pual or hophal. When we start digging into exactly what form each of these are, and if we have a weak root, what got lost, then there's a lot of details to sort through, but the basic thing is going to be if you're missing a root letter, you either restore a nun, usually at R1, you restore a vav or yod somewhere, including the so-called third hey verbs, or you restore a geminate root. Let's just go randomly through a few of these and do all of the steps with this parsing. So here we have vayusam, And our first question is, what's at the end? We might wonder whether this mem is a pronominal suffix or something. But if that was, we would have desperately little here for our root. So we know a root that has a seen and a mem. In fact, it's the root seem. And so if we call that the root, let's go to the beginning. We have vav patak dagesh, that's our preterite indicator. And then the dagesh is in a yod, so we have a yod and no ending. That would be a 3ms form. And what's the behavior of R1? R1 is the seen back here, and in front of it we have this U vowel, and that's because it has become pretonic open long, and it's no longer pretonic closed short. And this is a Hophal. Let's do another one. What do we have at the end? We have a tav, and if our eye goes both places at once, a mem at the front feels participle-ish, and a tav at the end feels a feminine singular-ish. And so put those two together, and that works just fine. We have a participle, feminine singular. We probably need context to know if it's absolute or construct. We look to R1, and this is a case where R1 has become the U vowel, but it is the prefix that has the U vowel, meaning it's Hophal, and the root is yatsa. So when we see this form, that tells us that this was originally watsa with a vav at the front, but all of these verbs became first yod over time, unless something is protecting it here. So she was being brought might be a translation, right? So yatsa is to go out. The hifil is to cause or to bring something out. This is passive. Something is brought out. It's feminine. Depending on the context that we are in, if we have a narrative going and we've gotten away from preterites, then this would be concurrent to some other action. She was being brought out somewhere. Hamusarin, what do we see at the end? Pretty obvious, masculine plural noun ending im. At the front we've got the article, and we also have a performative mem. Those are pretty good confirmations that we have a participle. It's masculine singular, or excuse me, masculine plural absolute. And what stem do we have? So we're looking for R1, and what we see is that the prefix has the U, telling us Hophal. We still have to figure out what R1 was. Did this U come from R1? Or is it just the Hophal's U vowel becoming pretonic open long? So if this came from R1, we'd have to say, do I know a root yasar? And no, you don't. And if we have something else, we might say, I've got a samik and a resh. Do I know any roots that have samik and resh? And you do. That would be sur. And so that's what we have here. We have a Hophal participle, masculine plural absolute from sur. Sur is to turn aside. When we go into the H stems, it becomes causative, so to turn something aside. And now we've made it into a participle, so it is the thing that was turned aside or the thing that was removed, perhaps. Here we have mahulal with nothing at the end, a performative mem on the front, shava kabutz dagesh, standard Pual ID badge, halal to boast in the kal, to praise in the in the PL, and now passive, so one that is praised, often translated one that's praiseworthy, one who is worthy to be praised. Let's do two more. So here we have matuma'ah, and we see kametz hey at the end. That can be more than one thing, but at the front we see a performative mem, which is often participle. So we put those together, participle and feminine singular absolute noun ending. And then we see shava kabutz dagesh, so standard Pual ID badge. And we can get a meaning of the thing that is made unclean or the thing that is defiled, right? So tameh is to be unclean. PL would be to make unclean. The Pual is the passive of that, be made unclean. So depending on context, something like defiled would work. One more. Here we have tushav. There is nothing at the end. There is a tav prefix on the front. So it could be 2ms or 3fs imperfect, right? So let's just pick that. And then what is our root? Is it from yashav or is it from shuv? Either way, we've got an u vowel with the prefix telling us that it is Hophal. And then when we would want some way to decide between, is it from yashav, which is originally washav, and that would account for this vav, or is it from shuv, and R2 dropped out, and this just became long, pretonic open long. And you know, this is one that actually could go either way. Now, I put it in the database as yashav, but we would end up needing to judge by context. Okay, so in theory, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the chapter, but in practice, we're really keying in on where the u vowel is. Is it on the prefix or is it on R1? And that'll tell us whether it's Hophal or whether it's Pual. And when we need to restore a lost root letter, then again, we're looking for nun, for vav or yod somewhere, or for a geminate root. Well, with all that practice parsing, I think you're ready to go tackle the practice readings on your own. Also encourage you just to look at that section 20.6 in the textbook. It's advanced information. It's just one paragraph talking about the cow passive a little bit further. All right, get at it.